I always say you learn a lot when you daily a car, and that's exactly what I've done. I'm Gabe, this is MotoringFile, and you are watching a quick view of 2,500 miles in our JCW Clubman. So the JCW Clubman is, of course, our favorite of the last generation minis, and it is a car that, in a lot of ways, is a bit of an outlier. You know, it's a station wagon, I mean, let's be honest, but it's a station wagon with 306 horsepower, all-wheel drive. It's a car that has a fair amount of utility as well. You know, this isn't a Cooper, and you know, it may not be from the factory as immediate or as quick as a Cooper. I shouldn't say as quick, I should say as nimble, but it is quicker, much quicker. In fact, this is the fastest Mini ever from a 0 to 60 standpoint, 4.6. Officially, from certain official channels from BMW. I've even seen 4.4 unofficially. You know, this is a fast car. It tops out at 155. I have done 150 plus on the Autobahn in this car, not in this car, but in a similar JCW Clubman. And you know, all in, it's an incredible product because it does combine so much from all the things we love about Mini. So, what does 2,724 miles tell me about this car as an owner? And that's the thing. I mean, I have driven a lot of press cars. Other folks from MotoringFile have driven a lot of press cars. We've always enjoyed this model. We've always enjoyed the hybrid nature of the entire thing. But owning it is a little different, of course. And also, when you own it, you have a chance to mod it, to modify it, which I've done. So first off, it has absolutely been exactly what I expected as I threw it in manual mode. Something that you can't do with the current Mini range. It is exactly what I expected. But where things get interesting to me, at least, is the modifications I've done to this car and why that has really impacted the way it drives and just sort of the overarching experience of owning the car. So for one, I dropped the car about an inch all the way around. Ride height on modern Minis and a lot of modern cars, it's high, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but it's pretty high. And if you look at it, without any context, it looks unnaturally high. So this is now lower. It's not slammed by any means, but it looks to me like this is how it should have come from the factory as a junk or works product. Of course, the highest, in terms of sporting credentials that Mini can offer. Beyond that, I've also added a rear sway bar, which helps with the turn-in, but also rotation of the car as well. So, in corners, lift off, rotate, it's exactly what you want. If you know how to control that, of course. Dropping the suspension, it's an IBAC spring setup. Really straightforward. I didn't do coilovers. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Because I have other plans potentially down the road, I wanted to do something relatively simple. And the IBAC lowering springs are designed to match the factory ride quality. They're designed, to be honest with you, having taken off the factory springs and put on the IBAC springs, the quality is quite a bit better, if I'm being honest. As is the sway bar. The sway bar is from New Speed. Again, quite a bit better quality. And then the underbody bracing is something that I've also done. That was from Craven Speed. It's the bracing they call their big pair. And it, again, like, so much higher quality. In fact, that in a lot of ways was the biggest change in terms of quality, what you take off to what you put on. Really interesting. So what has that done? Just that alone, and just that, has sharpened the turn-in, has made this car feel much more agile, much more crisp, and quite frankly, I was shocked at how much it did in terms of feel. And that's really what I was after, was feel. I want this thing to feel fun on a daily basis. I want to turn into what feels almost like the smallest Mini, almost like the Cooper, and it has done that, and it's awesome. And all in, from a cost perspective, really not much. Also did the spacers, so I brought the tires out a little bit as well. But I mean, I did all the work myself. It was barely over $1,000 all in. I've also added a couple different things. You can't see them, but I've added some full-on replacement metal shift paddles. That is, I would say, a project ongoing. There's a couple tweaks I want to make to it, so I'm not going to talk about it quite yet, but it is fantastic. The whole point of course, replacing the very small and, quite frankly, kind of cheap shift paddles is to create a feeling of engagement and interactivity where, we don't have it anymore, because this is an automatic, which, of course, I loathe personally. I really wish it was the manual. I drive in the city every day. I drive manuals every day in the city. I don't care. It's great. I love it. No complaints. I wish this was a great short throw, get track 6. It's not. But how do you add interactivity back into that, or sort of that tactile quality back into that moment? And I think a big part of it is trying to create drama in everyday, sort of engagements, and having metal shift paddles which click a little bit, that feel great. They're cold to the touch. They're much larger. They feel high quality. I think that's something that, for me, I think it's a nice add. And quite frankly, I'm really surprised that you don't hear more about people doing that. I think it's, especially with the new minis that don't have any kind of shift paddle, I would only assume you're going to start to see some potential, sort of post-sale aftermarket add-ons, that retrofits that fill that void. So all that said, let's go outside and check out the car and take a look at how this thing actually looks with everything we were just talking about. I'm biased, naturally, but I think it looks fantastic. And this is the first Mini I have owned as the founder of MotoringFile for, gosh, 15 years. I have had so many of these press cars, but I haven't had a real desire to grab one and own it until, of course, the Clubman JCW is going into production. I realized this is such a special car. They're not making it again. It was sort of a once-in-a-lifetime moment to grab. Really, the last actually delivered, custom-ordered Clubman. So don't mind the dirt and the smudges here and there. This is a daily, and it's intended to go to battle every day, whether it's in the city, in the suburbs, on the highway. That's exactly what it does, and I love it. This is all patina to me. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please give us a like. Of course, head to motoringfile.com. We have so much more content there. And if you want to see more videos, subscribe to our channel. We've got a lot coming.